Well, hello friends and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. You see, recently I got a few questions about ROSE bikes and specifically about ROSE XLITE 04 bikes. So I've decided to make a buyer's guide for this ROSE XLITE 04 in the Shimano 105 build. As you probably know, ROSE is a German bike brand. They have a huge heritage in making road bikes. I think now they have over 110 years of heritage in making road bikes, so definitely they know what they are doing. You see, this ROSE XLITE 04 with the Shimano 105 groupset has a retail price of 3,000 euros. ROSE bikes are not available on all the markets, but generally in majority of the European countries you can get ROSE bikes. I'm not so sure what's the situation with the US market, and definitely with the UK market recently ROSE bike has stopped delivering the bikes because of the Brexit situation. Now, as I said, it's a 3,000 euros retail price, so it's a very attractive price range. I always like to think about it today. If you are in between 3,000 to 4,000 euros US dollars or British pounds price, this is a very attractive price range. So we can dive in and see all the specifications of this bike and what do you really get for your hard-earned money. And then at the end, I will give you my recommendation. Should you just go ahead and buy it, or should you just consider this bike? We can kick off with the choice of paint schemes on this bike, and this is absolutely excellent in my opinion, because you are getting three paint scheme choices. The first one is this beautiful yellow with a hint of black, then you have a very classical gray and black, and another excellent paint scheme which they call papaya, kind of deep orange with a hint of black. It's absolutely astonishing for me that ROSE can offer three paint schemes on this bike with a retail price of 3,000 euros, because you can see on many other bigger brands that they would just offer you one paint scheme. We can also answer the question, who is this bike for? When you look at the ROSE XLITE range, it's all about a lightweight climbing machine, and also it comes with a little bit of aerodynamically optimized frame and the fork. This is just the way that the bike industry is going these days, but make no mistake, the main focus of this bike is a lightweight climbing machine, so it's going to be a bit on the stiffer side, so don't expect, anything super comfortable. This is not the point of this bike. Now let's look at the specifications of this bike, and we can kick off with the frame and the fork on this bike. So, when you look at the frame on the bike, you are getting a carbon fiber frame from ROSE, the ROSE XLITE 04 carbon fiber frame, and also the fork is the carbon fiber fork from ROSE. Both frame and the fork have 12mm through axles, front and the back. There is internal cable routing, and this bottom bracket is gonna be I believe the Shimano's classical press fit bottom bracket. I will just mention here that ROSE bikes are offering 3 years warranty on their carbon fiber frames and forks, which is one of the lowest warranties in industry. I wish they would increase this warranty on their bikes, and I see they are also offering you a 6 years kind of crash replacement program, but that only means that if you break your carbon fiber frame, you would have to pay a little bit of money to get a new one. That's how I understand it. So you're not getting a fully new carbon fiber frame for free. So okay, when you look at the wheel set on this bike, so what do you get? You are getting a ROSE R30 disc wheel set, which is wrapped in the Continental Grand Prix 5000 tires. These tires are 28mm tires, which is excellent, so a lot of air volume in these tires, and definitely I would advise you in the future to stick with 28mm tires. But speaking about this wheel set, so this ROSE R30 disc wheel set, if you would buy it on the open market, the retail price would be approximately 450 euros. And if you look at this wheel set, what are the highlights of this wheel set? So it's a classical aluminium wheel set from ROSE. There is the rim height of 30 millimeters, inner rim width of 19 millimeters. It is a tubeless ready wheel set, but I'm guessing you will need to provide your own tubeless tape and the tubeless valves. When it comes to the spokes, they are using superb Sapim spokes, 28 spokes both front and the back. Now when you look at the hubs on this wheel set, these are ROSE own hubs, classical sealed cartridge bearing hubs. At the front you have two sealed cartridge bearings, so it's a ROSE CL71 hub, and at the rear a ROSE hub with the 4 sealed cartridge bearings and the 3-pole system. This wheel set, as it is out of the box, 12mm through axles front and the back, and I will just mention that the total weight is 1,650 grams, so a decent weight for an aluminium wheel set. I can't comment too much on the reliability of these ROSE hubs. If anybody has any experience, please do let us know. Now let's talk about the group set on this bike, and we can kick off with the crankset and the cassette. So the crankset is the Shimano's 105 R7000 crankset. This is 5436 chainrings at the front, and the cassette is the Shimano's 105 cassette, 1132 cassette. So you have a very good range of gears from 1132 cassette, 5236 chainrings. There should be no problems in climbing any steep mountains with this. When you look at the shifters, front mech and the rear mech, everything is Shimano 105 group set, so mechanical group set, 11-speed group set, perfectly fine, a proper workhorse of a group set from Shimano. I have no complaints here, it's going to work absolutely fine. And I'm also glad that they didn't cut corners with the chain, so they have included the Shimano's HG601 chain, which is a Shimano 105 chain. So the full group set from shifters, front mech, rear mech, cassette, chain, and the crankset, everything is Shimano 105 mechanical group set, Shimano's 105 R7000 11-speed group set. As I said, it's superb, it's going to work perfectly fine. When you look at the braking system on this bike, so what do you get? You are getting a Shimano's 105 hydraulic disc brakes, front and the back, 160mm braking rotors, front and the back, which is absolutely superb. And as I see, these braking rotors are the basic Shimano's RT64 braking rotors, and this is just one detail in the future that I would advise you. When you destroy these braking rotors, just go ahead and buy the Shimano Ultegra braking rotors, of course keeping 160mm front and the back, or you can even use the braking rotors from the Shimano's mountain bike world, for example Shimano's SLX, Shimano's XT braking rotors. The main idea here is that Shimano's Ultegra braking rotors will have much better heat dissipation and stopping power than these basic Shimano rotors, because they also come with the Shimano's ice freeze ice tech technology. Now when we look at some of the smaller pieces on the bike, like the handlebar and the stem, so what do you get? So the handlebar is the Ricci aluminum stem. Ricci produces some superb components for bicycles, so I'm very impressed that ROSE has used the Ricci aluminum handlebar, and also the stem is a classical aluminum stem from ROSE. It is very good that these pieces are separate pieces, so there's nothing proprietary here. It's very easy to replace in the future or upgrade if you want, and also when you are adjusting your position on the bike, it's very easy to adjust it because, as I said, separate pieces. Absolutely great work here in the handlebar and the stem department. Now let's look at the saddle and the seat post. So the saddle you are getting is Physique Antares R5, excellent saddle from Physique. Again, since saddles are a personal preference, you might have your own saddle, so just keep it as long as possible and mount it on this bike. And also, ROSE here is using a carbon fiber seat post with 14mm of offset. Again, superb choice here, because in my opinion, carbon fiber seat post is a must on any road bike, because it's going to soak up so much of the smaller road bumps. You see, also the total weight of this bike, ROSE is claiming 8.1 kilograms in some kind of size medium. So just keep in mind that if you add the pedals on this bike, let's add another 300 grams, so about 8.3 to 8.5 kilograms for this ROSE XLITE 04 bike. I think it's a decent bike weight, you know, nothing special in this department. A lot of other bike manufacturers are on the same levels, but again, a decent bike weight, nothing too heavy for this level of the bike. So now in a summary, when you consider that this is a retail price of 3,000 euros, what should you do? Should you just go ahead and buy it, or should you just consider it? Well, I will tell you that definitely you should consider this bike for a retail price of 3,000 euros. I'm saying to consider it because there is a very good competition in this price range. Specifically, I'm thinking about Canyon bikes, I'm thinking about Giant bikes, I'm thinking about Merida bikes. So all of them sit probably in this very sweet range of about 3,000 to 3,500 euros, US dollars or British pounds. So you should definitely check also those bikes, and definitely, I can recommend you to shortlist this ROSE XLITE 04 bike with the Shimano 105 group set. So I think this is gonna be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!